If you just found out you're pregnant, congratulations, high fives. You're probably being inundated with a bunch of information about everything you can't do and everything that you shouldn't do and everything that you can't eat and everything that you can't drink. And this video is the opposite of that. I myself am recently pregnant with my second baby. And so I've already been through this once. I did a lot of research the first time around. And I'm going to give you a lot of information about the essentials, things that you need to do, things that you should do, things that you could do, the essentials for me and what works for me for my pregnancy to help you help your unborn child live a healthier life because they were set up for success in utero. You can ensure that your baby is healthier. You can ensure better brain development. You can ensure that your baby is more beautiful. I read articles on how to ensure that you have a more beautiful baby. I know, is that vain? Brain development, way more exciting, right? Okay, so these are some things that you can do to help ensure that you have a super healthy baby and a smoother pregnancy. These are the things that you need to know. All right, first things first. You need to stay super duper hydrated. This is about a pint of water. You need to be drinking 64 ounces at least of water a day. 64 ounces at least. So that's 4 of these. I myself don't really like that kind of water. I know. I'm a prissy bitch. But I like to drink cans of sparkling water, and these are 12 ounces, so 5 of these is 60 ounces, so 5.5 of these would be the minimum. I don't just drink sparkling water. Another thing that you can do to stay super hydrated, coconut water. So the reason you need to stay super hydrated is your baby is suspended in amniotic fluid in your uterus. And you need to keep the fluid levels up to keep the baby in a safe and healthy situation. If you don't drink enough water, you're going to go to one of your checkups and they're going to tell you you have low fluid, and they're going to stress you unnecessarily out about this low fluid, tell you you're going to have to go on bed rest, you're going to have to do X, Y, Z. They sent me to the emergency room over low fluid. Nobody in that whole experience told me, oh yeah, you're just dehydrated. I did a little bit of research and started drinking one of these a day, instantly fixed the low fluid. I never had a problem with my fluid levels after that. I was just really dehydrated one day, trying to do all the things like, work and go to school and get groceries and run all the errands. I was having a hard time drinking water that day. Yeah, it's important, take care of yourself, take care of your baby, put your health first. Drink enough water. If you are not drinking enough water, coconut water, super duper awesome because the electrolytes make it a lot more palatable. If you don't like coconut water, this is body armor. It has coconut water in it. But some people who hate the taste of coconut water like this a lot better. I personally like this, but it's a little high in sugar. If you have gestational diabetes, you're going to have to look at the low sugar options in all of these sports beverages if you're going to go that route for your electrolytes and your hydration needs. Okay, whew. So hydration, super duper important. Thing number 2 that you have to keep in mind when you're pregnant. This was kind of a trip to me. You're supposed to get 70 grams of protein a day when you're making a new human. I myself am a vegetarian, and I never was worried about protein. I was never deficient in protein. Spinach has protein, apples have protein, avocados have protein, macaroni has protein. All of this stuff has protein. I don't eat a lot of macaroni. I get my protein from things like vegetables and nuts and legumes like lentils and things like that. But now that I'm pregnant, I'm trying to be more conscientious about the actual number, like the actual number of grams of protein that I'm taking in. And so those are some things you can do. Legumes and, almonds. I'm going to get back to these again in a second. Almonds, really important, very key. But yeah, there's a lot of other things you can do. Swiss cheese, 5 grams of protein a slice. Also a great source of calcium. We'll get back to that. Cottage cheese, great source of protein. Yeah, I do a little bit of tofu. I'm not crazy about tofu, but I do a little bit of tofu. Bean and cheese burritos, lentil soup. And then just to ensure that I'm getting the extra protein I've been needing since I got pregnant, these little beverages right here have 25 grams of protein. And there are some protein bars that you can get that are made with whey that have like 10 grams of protein, 15 grams of protein, 20 grams of protein in a bar. You squeeze something like this into your daily routine and instantly you're up to like 70 grams so fast. Okay, the other thing that's really important, and this is important for the baby, but also super important for you, you need to get 1,000 milligrams of calcium. Is that right? Yeah, 1,000 milligrams of calcium. Now, if you aren't getting enough calcium, your body will leach the calcium out of your bones and out of your teeth to send it to the baby. And it's doing that, as like a super protective way of making sure that the baby gets everything that they need. But then that's really hard on you, and that's why a lot of pregnant women have problems where they have dental issues after their first pregnancy. And there's like an old wives' tale, you'll lose a tooth for every baby that you have. You don't need to lose teeth. What you need to do is you need to get 1,000 milligrams of calcium a day. So calcium, if you're vegan, you can still get calcium from things like broccoli. Broccoli is a source of calcium. Leafy greens are a source of calcium. So I get a lot of frozen vegetables and I just squeeze these into my, stir fry into my pasta dishes, into soups. All sorts of different things that you can squeeze them into. And that really increases the amount of nutrition that you're getting, the vitamins and minerals from the vegetables, and also the amount of calcium that you're getting every day. So frozen broccoli. Yeah, the nausea in that first trimester or something, isn't it? Broccoli, spinach are my two favorites. Those are my go-tos. But yeah, there's a lot of leafy greens like kale that other people like. And, figure out what works for you. I personally like spinach. I've always loved spinach. Also, turns out almonds are an excellent source of calcium. I get these ones at Trader Joe's. It's like $4.99 for this pound of almonds, which is super cheap. And then I can just munch on almonds throughout the day. So that's a really great way to get calcium. Another thing I did with my first pregnancy, I haven't been doing this so much lately, but I could. Where did you go? Almond milk. So yeah, almond milk, a very good source of calcium. Definitely, if you're worried about getting enough calcium and you're worried about any of those issues that can come from pregnancy and calcium deficiency, just start chugging almond milk. It's like the easiest way to get calcium into your diet. Greek yogurt is also a really good source of protein and calcium. You can get like 11 grams of protein and I don't know how much, but a lot of calcium from Greek yogurt. So it's another way to sneak more protein and calcium into your diet. Okay, now last but not least, prenatal vitamins. Really important, and what prenatal vitamin you take can also make a huge difference. So truth be told, little secret, I've been taking prenatal vitamins since I was 24 because folic acid and folate is good for your hair, and I don't know, I was trying to make my hair grow out thicker and longer. Then, the postpartum hair loss thing happens, and here we are. Still working on that. But yeah, I've been taking prenatal vitamins for a long time, and the ones with DHA I've been taking for, wow, at least like 8 years now. DHA. So you want to make sure that your prenatal vitamin has folate instead of folic acid if you can, because that's more assimilatable into the body. And then you want something with DHA. So not every prenatal vitamin on the market has DHA, but a lot of them do. You're just going to have to kind of look at the back labels and look at the amount of DHA, and if it comes from algae or fish oil makes a difference, because algae is more assimilatable and fish oil isn't as assimilatable, but it's cheaper. So, have some pros and cons. They can put more fish oil for cheaper into the vitamins, and you can put less algae into the vitamins and have it still cost more, but you're getting more of it into your body and into the baby's brain. So DHA is really important for brain development. And if you're not eating a ton of fish, which, since I'm a vegetarian, I'm not, it's a really great thing to make sure that you're taking a prenatal supplement with DHA. That's going to help ensure that your baby is really set up for success in the brain development department. I can't wait for you to meet this new human and then see them start to hit their milestones and start to count and talk and say really interesting and sweet and brilliant things to you. And then you'll be like, oh yeah, I took those vitamins. I kick ass. Give yourself a pat on the back. You did everything that you could to set them up for success. Alright, and so one last thing I wanted to mention is I read during my first pregnancy bunch of articles on how to ensure that you have a beautiful baby and how to ensure that you have a really intelligent baby. And a lot of the food that you can eat in one article was the same food that you can eat in another article. Like, these two categories of beautiful and brainy are overlapping. And so two things that really stuck out to me, besides, eat your fruits and vegetables, obvi. A thing that really stuck out to me in both of these overlapping categories was that you should eat a lot of legumes, like beans, lentils, pinto beans, black beans, etc., and sweet potatoes. And so during my pregnancy, I found that something that really worked for me, that was really settling on my stomach, that I really liked, was sweet potato french fries. You can pop them in the toaster oven. They take about 10 to 20 minutes. And it's just a really easy way to squeeze more sweet potatoes into your diet if you're not in the habit of constantly making sweet potatoes, which a lot of people aren't. So sweet potato french fries for a more beautiful, more brilliant baby. Who would have guessed it? Alright, so I think that's everything I wanted to cover today. And so if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. If you like my video, feel free to like my video. And if you really want to help me out, do me a huge favor and subscribe to my channel. Alright, I wish you and your family all the best. Take care.